Welcome to the Soccer Starter Guide for Americans. I know it is hard to find interest in a new sport since there is usually a large knowledge gap, especially when talking about a sport that is no culturally present in your country. So this video is for those people interested in football, or better known in the United States as soccer. I will show you the general organizational structure of how soccer is played around the world, so we can close this knowledge gap together, and you can start enjoying the game instead of trying to figure out what is going on. If this video does well, I will go more in depth about more specific rules in other videos. So if you want to keep learning, subscribe and like this video. The first thing you need to learn about is FIFA. FIFA stands for International Federation of Football Association. This is the governing body of football worldwide. This organization sets the standards of the sport for every football team, league, or anyone or anything associated with the official game. Quick note: association football is the official name of soccer. Just to put you in perspective of how big this organization is. The United Nations has 193 member countries. FIFA has 211. Think of it like the United States federal government. FIFA is the federal governing body over all the football organizations in all countries. Since there are a lot of countries to manage in one single office, the football world is divided in 6 sections called confederations. This confederation is in charge of organizing the teams and the tournaments of the countries in its assigned region. The 6 confederations are CONCACAF, UEFA for Europe, AFC for Asia, CONMEBOL for South America, OFC for Oceania, which is Australia, New Zealand, Tahiti, to name a few. This is the less developed confederation in football terms, since the members are relatively small countries or islands. The CAF for Africa. For example, the United States belong the confederation CONCACAF. CONCACAF stands for Confederation of North, Central America and Caribbean Association Football. As its name suggests, this confederation is in charge of North America, Central America, and the Caribbean. Some of the countries inside CONCACAF are Canada, USA, Mexico, Costa Rica, and Jamaica. Each country around the world has a football organization that is in charge of organizing, administrating, and managing its own domestic leagues and tournaments. But it doesn't stop there. Each country is also responsible for having its own football governing body to organize its own domestic leagues, teams, and players. For example, the governing football body in the US, it is the USSF, or the United States Soccer Federation. In Mexico, it is the FMF, or the Mexican Football Federation. These independent federations are in charge of managing their own leagues and teams. But remember, they all have to follow FIFA rules and regulations in order to keep their membership. Many Americans are surprised by the amount of depth associated with the sport, and I don't blame them. This is a very well-organized international operation that functions very well, even with a few scandals here and there. In my opinion, it is a very good system taking into consideration the enormous size of all of this. So back to the national governing bodies. These national federations are also in charge of creating and managing its own national team. I will make a quick pause to explain the differences between a national team and a club team. Club teams are its own independent companies. They are allowed to compete with foreign and national talent. For example, let's say you own a software development company and you find out there is a very good engineer living in India. What you do as a company is sponsor his visa, give him a contract, and send him over to your country so he can start working for you. Well, that's how club teams work. They play in their national league and compete for the first place to win good TV contracts, increase their fan base, sell merchandise, win a few trophies, and take the winning prize for winning the league or tournaments. A football player can only play for 2 teams at the same time, his club and his national team. A national team is also known in many Latin American countries as a selection, because, well, that's how they work. Each national team selects the current best players who have that specific country's citizenship. This is why you might have seen players like Messi or Ronaldo wearing different uniforms in different games in different tournaments. They are playing for their clubs or their national teams in international tournaments. National teams can only play with other national teams. They cannot officially play club teams. It rarely happens, but it is only for preparation or friendly practice matches, and they do not count toward the official win and loss record. A national team has the benefit of forcing the club to hand over its national team player in order to play an official FIFA match. If the club denies the request, FIFA can sanction them or fine them a hefty sum, or even revoke their membership altogether, banning them from ever playing against any other FIFA-affiliated team. So that is just one example of how FIFA regulates and maintains order around the football world. National teams and club teams play different types of tournaments. As I mentioned before, a national team cannot officially play against a club team, so remember they are completely separate. National teams play in international competitions against other national teams. Some of these tournaments are FIFA World Cup, FIFA Confederations Cup. They also play tournaments in their assigned confederation, remember? For example, the United States and Mexico play in the CONCACAF Gold Cup, which is a tournament for teams within the CONCACAF. They also play in the CONCACAF Nations League, which is another international tournament inside CONCACAF region. Club teams play in domestic leagues and tournaments, but FIFA also hold international tournaments for them. They can qualify by beating the teams inside their confederation in an elimination-style tournament to qualify for the FIFA Club World Cup. This tournament is a great chance for club teams which are local to earn worldwide exposure and win new fans across the world, which can turn into sales. I will give you a few recommendations if you want to start enjoying this game. The first recommendation is to watch your national team's games. They will be more entertaining because you will have an emotional connection to the result. The second recommendation is watching your local club's games if your city has one. And the third is to try appreciating how difficult it is to score. I know that from the angle we see on TV, it might seem easier than what it actually is. So I recommend you go watch a POV recording of what it really looks like to play inside the actual game. Go watch JFootball TV on YouTube so you can understand the real difficulty of having 11 grown men trying to take the ball away from you by throwing kicks at your legs. It is surprising the amount of hate this sport gets in the US simply because of other sports fans' egos. Anyways, if you like this content and want me to keep explaining this sport, further subscribe and like this video so I may know I have your support. Thank you.